Mike, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Marcel Aman. I know he's back and healthy. Just the process he went through to get to where he's at now. You happy to see him out there and looking like he used to?
Yes, and the adversity has been good for him. Sometimes when we have things taken from us that we really don't appreciate, all of us do that with certain things in our life. He realized how much he actually missed being on our team, being around the guys, being able to practice, compete, essentially being a part of something. And he's a true success story for college football. You know, when Marcel came in here, he didn't necessarily buy into our culture. It took about a year and a half. Had a good year, then had an average year, and then got hurt, and now realizes what he missed out on. So the adversity's been a positive for his future.
Well, Coach Dunn even mentioned his GPA actually went up during that time that he was out. A lot of guys might take that as a time to slack off. You're probably as proud of that as anything, right?
That's right. And what happens is we stress to them every day the importance of their 4 years here. Like all of us when we're in college, in most cases probably try to find the easiest and fastest way out, less resistant. And what we preach to them is you're essentially setting yourself up for the rest of your life. And he bought into that part of it, so he's doing very well in the classroom, and he's matured. He's become a positive influence on our younger players.
When you look at this receiving core and how deep it is, what does he do specifically that you think is really going to boost this offense?
You know, we're in basketball season, and really he's a long body. He's big, he's long, he's a jumper, and he can time his jump. For his position, he's wide, he's difficult to get around, and that's what he brings to the table for our offense.
Talking to Mason Rudolph, did you realize he was as good of friends with Luke May, the kid that hit the winning shot for North Carolina?
Luke has been here, I think twice, and was the last time Mason brought him down to the locker room and introduced him to us, and of course I paid attention to it, but didn't really know about it until afterwards when they had reminded me who he was. Great story for that young man, and he was back in business class at 8 o'clock the next morning. Yeah. So he's got it figured out.
Are you rooting for North Carolina?
Well, we're out of Big 12 schools, and I pull for those guys all the way to the end. So I just enjoy watching good games. Quite honestly, I'm enjoying watching Coach Martin, to be honest with you. I knew him a little bit, and I appreciate what he brings to the table. I'm happy for Mark. I don't know Mark, but I'm happy for all the hard work and effort he's put in to get into the Final Four. And obviously it's pretty cool for Oregon. They hadn't been there, or maybe 60 years or something, whatever. North Carolina's kind of old hat, but I just enjoy watching good games.
I was talking to Tim Duffy about his corners, young corners, and he agreed with something Darian Daniels said. Darian says he gets thank yous from Madre and AJ and those guys all the time, because they'll say as soon as our receiver's in his cut and we look, the quarterback's already running out of the pocket. So the pass rush gives you license to really play those corners.
Last year we were fortunate we could play two groups up front and stay fresh, and I think we're going to have that luxury. Knock on wood, if Brailford continues to progress and stays healthy, he could be quite an impact player for us during the pass rush and in that part of the game. And when we can keep a group of four fresh, we're going to be a much better team. That's the one area we lacked here for a number of years.
I think it shows the intelligence of those corners too, to realize what a big help those big boys are for them.
Well, no doubt. They get caught on islands out there, and it doesn't look good when there's two guys out there and one of them's running with the ball and they're chasing them. So they appreciate those guys putting some pressure on the quarterback.
How's Ramon looked?
How's who?
Ramon looked in his
He's doing good. I've watched him pretty close to last padded practice, and he's roaming around out there pretty good, and I think that's a good spot for him. I'm sure they'll evaluate it at the end of spring, but I would think that's a pretty good spot for him.
We were talking about Marcel a little bit ago. You have so much at the wide receiver position, and I think people assume that it could almost run itself. You have so much talent and depth there. There's got to be some things you're trying to work out though at that spot in terms of either personnel or rotation or something like that.
The rotation is important, and I'd mentioned this earlier in the spring, and I think it's gonna work out this way, that whether we're in a 3 wide set or a 4 wide set, we can run 3 on, run for 3 plays, and run 3 others on, and keep them fresh. And I think that, I know that'll make us a better team. See, we didn't have that luxury last year with James. We were actually pretty thin last year since we lost Aitman. But I feel like now that this could really help us from the middle of October through the November swing, because we have enough guys. And it just becomes a number game, Garen. If you have a guy that's playing 50 plays a game, by 9, that's 450. If he only plays 30 plays a game, that's 270. So he's played that many less plays at the end of October. And he's going to be fresh going into November. And that's kind of what our goal is.
Mike, have you seen Trey Carter buy into his new position?
Sure, he's done great. We were just talking about him in the locker room. You know, we talked about Aitman. Trey's another success story. Late qualifier, came in, and we've essentially become his family away from home, and he's put all his money into it, and he's put all his pride into it and all his time into it, and he's done very well. He's done well in class, and he's buying in, and the team really likes him. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's really a lot of fun to be around.
The guy we haven't talked about much is Dylan Stoner in that receiving group. Is there something he does that's different than McCleskey? Is he similar in what you expect from him this season in that role? Or?
He's a lot like Josh Stewart, Cooper, Glidden. He plays that role. The time we had him in last year, he's very cerebral. He had an injury from high school when he got here, and we thought maybe he could play through it. Didn't work out that way, and so now we're hoping that he'll be durable and can play 2 positions. That's what he brings to the table. He can play an inside receiver as a 3rd receiver or an inside receiver as a 2nd receiver, and those guys are pretty valuable.
Does Larry Williams look pretty good since his return as well?
Larry seems to be really healthy and learning, and he gets out of place at times with his footwork, but his upper body strength allows him to correct his mistakes, his maturity, his age, his strength, and he's coming along. And I'm pleased with those guys. We're still young at a couple spots, but I'm pleased with the progress we're making at that position.
What's Coach Van Gorder been for your staff? Has it been good for you guys so far?
He's been really good for our defensive guys. He's got a wealth of experience in 3 down, and essentially that's why we brought him in here. I'll be quite honest with you, I didn't necessarily think we were going to bring a guy in that had a track record like him, but he wanted to be in our program, and we're thrilled to have him. And they tell me that he's bringing a lot to the room in different things in the 3 down defense.
Was there a connection there, or was he just a big name you guys were hoping to get? Or
Wasn't any connection at all. He just contacted our people, and so we followed up on it.